Hello, everybody. It's Rambo here. I'm gonna take a look at a couple of tickers for Moon Market Discord that we're looking at and hyping, I guess. Um, the first one here is LQR, and then we'll be looking at NVOS. With LQR here on the daily chart, we don't have too much information to go by. But on the daily chart, for what we have good support at 92 cents. We're trying to put in maybe possibly a higher high, but just basically two candles that does not make a low. But this does right here at 92 cents. So is this going to continue upward or downward? That's what we'll take a look at here. We're in under a red cloud for right now on the daily. Now, 2 points really don't make that much of a trend, but you can put one right here for right now and wait for it to break that trend. You could put in, on TOS, you could put an alarm on when it breaks and go by that. But, we're basically right now we're ranging. We definitely could go lower, especially if we break 92 cents. If it gets down to 92 cents, getting close to the trend line here, in the middle of September, might be a good risk to reward ratio. Just put your stop just below it and go from there and see what happens. So that's a good idea, playing it from the daily chart, which is what I prefer. But then to get maybe a more deeper look at what's going on here on the 30-day, 30-minute chart, we're basically we're in a range right here. This created the new low, so this is your trading range from this candle. Oh, okay, it was on the high. Okay, so here's the temporary trading range that we're in right now. So we're definitely right now coming down. The money line here, which is the anchored VWAP to the candle with most volume, and this is it right here. We've just been kind of warring back and forth over this. Obviously, it's pretty much going sideways, hence we're in a range. The 25 and the 9 EMA goes from red, green, red. Another sign that we're in a range right now. So very choppy. Very difficult. You could maybe scalp come Monday, see what's going on. Again, always with these pennies, pre-market is extremely important. If you catch it down here on the downside, pre-market might be a good time to get into this one. But overall, we're definitely in a downtrend. I really don't see much momentum. Again, yep, you can get in down here and catch the ride up, but I don't like to be the first mouse. The first mouse always gets the trap. Second one gets the cheese. I like to see a higher high, higher low, break out, still not get into it, and then after it breaks this downtrend, wait for a back test, then get in. That's me. But for you, if you're scalping, again, anywhere, the 110 range, what would be perfect if we came down to the 99 range, or even the overall chart low on the daily, 92 cents again. That could very much well look like a liquidity grab, just like right here, it broke the lower low and then made a run. We could do it again and break that low, bounce off of here and then make a run. So, but be very careful as long as we're underneath the downtrend line. We're going to we could see chop, especially since we're far away from it. But once we break it, then certain trend lines might be beneficial for support trend lines to see what's going on here. So, but that's what we're looking at right now. But again, the red and blue, these are the weekly, and the blue is the monthly anchored VWAP. We're below that also, so usually that's if you're contrarian, this is where you want to buy. When it's above, that's when you want to sell. But obviously, you don't buying the dips, guys, in a downtrend that's not buying the dips. You buy a good trader buys the dips as it's going up, not down. So personally, I would wait. But if you guys are scalping this for a quick, 10% or whatever, anywhere around this area would be all right. The $1.10 area, $1.08, um, and have a tighter stop loss on that. So that's what I have with LQR, and then NVOS. We'll take a look at this on the daily first. So on the daily chart, again, we're still in a range, believe it or not. Okay, we've been in this range since what, October 13th of 22. So take it for what it is. I mean, here, it went from 0.6 all the way up to 30 cents. Can make a lot of money in this range, but for long term, I want to see it break out of this range here, and be very careful with that because it could be a false breakout. That would be a liquidity grab on the way back down. Yes, I know there's a gap right here up to 63 cents, 61 cents or so. So always have that in mind. But the way momentum plays, the way I used to do it is I would just wait for it to break here and then the run up to fill the gap. But a lot of times, especially nowadays, momentum plays. All they are is psych outs, fake breakout. It might get up a little bit into the gap and then just crash right back down. So I just want to keep that in mind. But as long as we're in an uptrend, you get higher highs and higher lows. So now since August, we put in this high right here. We had a back test and then another jump up. So now what's going to happen? Right now I have just this downtrend right here. We have a base support trend coming up here. On the fibs, you want to see a good 30% retracement as a sign of the trend still having strength. You want it to be at least around 38%. If you only have a little dip and keeps going, it's too tired after a big move like this. Traditionally, you want to see a good 50% retracement. That way it had a good rest in order to make another big push forward. That could still definitely happen. 50% right now is at the 21 cent range or so. But as far as momentum is concerned, this blue line is the anchored VWAP to the lowest candle on the chart, which here is the yearly, and the money line, which I consider the most important. Again, the candle with the most volume. We're sitting at 21.42 right now, so we're well above that. We're pulling back to try to come back down to it, but right now momentum. The cloud is still bigger with the 9 and the 25 EMA. So things, though, the money line's starting to flatten out here. The monthly is flattening out. We're underneath the weekly anchored VWAP. So we'll keep that in mind. A lot of this is just a lot of whip right here. You got bottoming tails and topping tails. So a lot of fighting going on in this area right here. So on the daily chart, I personally, again, would wait for it to break the downtrend line. I always think in the back of my mind, as long as it's under a downtrend line, it's going to zero. That way I don't get FOMO and don't get in too early. This could come back down to the 50% line at 21, bounce out, come back down, try to meet the point here in a wedge fashion. And you can end up getting in at 22 versus where it's at right now, 26. Oh, look, it came down here and now we're coming up, so maybe it's over. You get in, and next thing you know, it continues down. That can happen. It might not happen. We from here we just might bounce out. But again, these are scenarios. They're not certainties. I don't make call outs. I don't say from here we're going up to 60 cents or anything like that. That's not a technician's job. The technician's job is to give you the scenarios of what might happen and what is happening. And right now we are going in a downtrend, okay? And the possible scenarios of where we could go. We could come back down to this baseline and come up. We could break this up here and go up. Or if we break this base support, we could be coming back down to 12 cents or back down to 6 cents. We don't know, but those are the scenarios. Okay. Then now on the 30-minute chart that we have, the momentum's very strong with the last 30 days. The money line's right here. Of course, a lot of fighting, hence a range right here. It broke the range. We had a good run up, and now we are looking at fighting over the top of the daily range. This green area again is the daily range. We had a false breakout here and came back down. We had a big divergence pattern here, and funny, look where it bounced right off of the money line, came back up, set a high, but lower highs, right? One lower high, two lower highs, and now we had a lower low. All right, so this is what they call a change of character. It usually means one of two things. It's a sign of an impending trend change. A trend change is a break of structure, which would be two lower lows and two lower highs. Right now we have two lower we have two lower lows or one lower low and two lower highs. So if we break down underneath the money line here and set a second lower low, then that would be a trend change. But right now, a change of character can mean that's coming, or it can mean that this was a liquidity grab, and then 35 cents would be the target. And breaking that, so that would that's also a indication of if we're bullish and we have a bearish change of character. A lot of times, again, that means it's a liquidity grab, and we could be on our way up to a higher target. If that's true, great. I would still wait for a break of the downtrend and then a pullback and then get in. I'd rather get in right here on a back test, breaking the downtrend before I do anything. Just like down here, it broke this, a trend line right here, right? It broke, it back tested, and then went. That's what you want to see. Okay, if it doesn't back test and just keeps going, you miss out on a trade. Big deal. There's 20,000 other stocks out there. You don't have to be focused on one. But that's what we have on the daily chart, and that's what I have for you guys tonight. If you guys like this, please give me a like, a subscribe. And I'd like to invite you to Moon Market's Discord. That's where I'm on there every single day, streaming in the live voice streaming on the Discord, as I usually do SPY options all day long, Monday through Friday, and that is so I'd like to invite you to do that. It's a great family. We have a really good time, and I would encourage you to check out Moon Market's Discord. They're putting out hot plays all the time. We have stock ballers, that are giving out calls all the time too. Good pre-market momentum plays and things of that nature. So it's a great place to be for trading. Not only for trading, but having friendships and all kinds of stuff like that on the Discord. So with that said, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you later.